So welcome to tutorials. In this video you are learning how to do CRUD operation using Angular in the front end, and in the back end we are going to use PHP and MySQL. In the last video you just saw how to create database, how to create a project in Angular, and also I shown you how to create components. So we created components like add component, view component, and edit components. In this video we will work on displaying the data first, and step by step we will also learn how to add or insert the data, how to edit the data, and how to delete. So in this section let's work on displaying the data directly from the MySQL database through PHP. Now let's open this and we will start working on. Let's click on add, then add students, and then let's work on this HTML part. So the first thing will be let's do one thing. In our app component here, in this app component, let's create first drv, then drv. So let's create menu here. Okay, let's go here and bootstrap nav. So 5.0. Then let's take this navigation. Generally I take this one only, so copy it and just paste here. But before that let's do one thing. Class container fluid, and then div class container, and then insert here this code. Now let's check into the browser how our project is showing. So now npm start. Once again we will start this project and then click here and let's refresh it. Let's close it now. Still compiling. Okay, so this is our menu, and now here below this we will call here, this is container, so inside container only let's take another div, and then we will write here inside this router outlet, outlet. Since we have not set up the router, that's why we are getting this error. So we will be working on, we will create one router file. So let's create here inside a new file called approutingmodule.ts file. Inside this, so let's call here router module first, and then here this const file. Inside this we will create list of our routers. So first, in the home page we would like to show to the users the list of the students. So when the page loads, first it will show the list component. Okay, so we have a list students. So let's check our class name. What is our class name? List students component.ts. Let's write here. Then automatically it will ask you to import here. So it's imported, and then below here we need to add few lines. Let's put here semicolon. Then this code is required here. So what we are doing here, under imports we need to call these routes here. We are binding with routes, and finally we have to call this file into app.module.ts file, and before that we need to export this, export default, then the class. Default is not required. Export only. Export app routing module, and we need to call this common module as well, and ng, so we need to import this as well. Now it's fine. Now this class we will call here inside app module.ts. So we need to write here import here, so from app routing, where's that, this one, and we need to call this inside imports module. Now let's open this page and you can see list works. So that means the listing will work because here in list.component.html we have only this thing. Now let's work here. Let's create a table, then t head and th, so th, so here will be first name, last name, email, then password, and gender, hobbies, and country. So first name, last name, email, password, gender, hobbies, and then country. Okay, so now let's check once again, and of course just right here the Bootstrap code. So let's put a class here, class table stripped. Okay, so now this looks like this. We can also write here class bg primary, then okay, so this is our basically the heading. Now here below this, here will be t body, inside here tr, then td. So how many td's are required here? And here one more thing, action here, th actions. Now so how many td's are there required? Be 1 2 3 4 5 6. What's happening here? Very good. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, now let's work on our ts file because we need to bring the data from there. Okay, now let's open our, before that let's open our service file. Okay, so here inside constructor we need to call http client, private, then http, then http client. We need to import this module http Right. So for that, as you can see, we are getting error. We need to call here. There is spelling mistake. Oh, here it will be capital actually, and then inside there, not here actually, we will create one function for fetching the data. Now let's declare here base URL. Remember, this is my REST API, PHP REST API URL. Now it is very important that for REST API creation, you go to my channel, tutorial raise, sorry, spelling mistake, and then under playlist, you go to this section, REST API. This actually, this is the first part, and what I'm going to show you is second part. So first you need to create REST API. So
Grammarly
please follow these videos, 1, 2, 3, 4 videos, and then you get back to here once again, because this REST I have shown here in this video how to create this REST API, and same REST API I'm going to use here. So this is my folder where I had and this is the same file which I have shown in those videos. So please follow this video step by step, and then you come back here. Okay, so what I've done in this video, I have selected the complete students table. So I need to change your database name. So in my case, the database name here, DB connection. So localhost registration. The table name this time is different here. So I have that table also. So what's my database name here? In this case, database name is registration. So do I have that? Registration, yeah, this one I have. Okay, and under this there is student table. Okay, so let's use this one only, this registration table. Okay, and then root, and then this black. So this is database connection string. I have shown this also in that video. And then for showing the database means record, this is the view section. In this view section, the method is get, and then database connection here, and this is based on ID, particular ID. If ID is not passed, in that case it will select all students from here. So we are checking here, if the user has passed ID, in that case it will select particular student. So we will need this in case of edit section, or else it will select all the students. Okay, so this is complete code. I have shown this step by step in these videos, so please follow these videos first, it will be useful. So this is the same file which we will call here. Okay, now let's create one function, and in this function we will call this URL, passing this view, same file. Now we need to create one class also, that is model. Okay, so let's create here in help file students.ts. In here we will class students, and then inside here constructor or normally also. And of course we need to write here export also, export class student, and inside this we will pass here fields. So our fields name are ID, first name, last name, email, password, gender, hobbies, and countries. And we are passing here optional parameter because if user or API doesn't return any of these, then there will be no problem. Okay, so that's why I have passed here optional parameter. Now once again let's come here and then try to import this one. So import here, import students from the student, and finally we will call it here. That's it. So for the time being, get students, this is enough. Now let's go to list students.ts file. That means here. So here ng on init. But before that, let's call here student service from, what's our service name? This service. So it will be private this. We need to import this on the top, and then here we will this dot student service dot get students, then dot subscribe, not curly braces actually, then subscribe, not this one, data, then here this one. So here I will write console.log, then this data. Okay, now let's check if it's working or not. So let's go here, refresh it, Control Shift I, that means inspect element, and then refresh it. So this is our file name, localhost, then okay, we need to call HTTP client module as well here in this file, where app module.ts. So let's call here import HTTP client module, and then forms module from HTTP common forms module. Remember, forms module. So then here we will call HTTP inside import here, and here also forms module. So what's wrong with this? Okay, it needs to be called from forms actually. That's why I was getting error. Now let's go here and then it's refreshed, and here you can see we are getting the full record. Currently we have two records. Let me show you. Please note that I have changed here database name is registration and table name is students. Okay, and inside there the field name is same. So first name, last name, email, password, gender, office, country, these are same. Actually I had created this before, so I'm using this one only. So you can see I have already inserted here manually from here, insert two records, this first and second. So that is why it is displaying here the data. So now we would like to show the same data here, right? So what we will do, list components, right here, this dot students equals to data dot data. Why I have written data dot data? The reason is, okay, so it is asking that it should be any. Okay, so let's put here and then any. Okay, so its complaint is gone now, and this one needs to be declared here. So students any, that's it. Now these students we will write here ng4, okay, in this table here. So we will write here star ng4, sorry, 4 equals to let student of students students. So where is this students data coming from? Our list, these students. Okay, so how this is working, let me explain you once again. This is our base URL, this one. So we are fetching the data here, okay, from our PHP file view, right? From this PHP file we are returning the data, and here you can see it says return. That means this function is returning the API record set, and it is giving to this file here. It is sending to this file where here. So we are fetching in this one ng on init. That means when the page loads, that means this one. So we are calling this service, and inside that there is a function, and we are subscribing here, right? That means we are fetching the data, and data result set ultimately is returned in this data. And data to data, why we have written, let me show you. Here you can see that this is base endpoint data. Okay, so all record is coming like this. Also, if you check here in console.log, if you refresh, okay, actually I had removed that one, that's why. So let's console once again, console.log, then this data. So if you console.log, then you will see that it is data and then inside that array, data and then array. That means our record is inside data. So to avoid the confusion, you can also write like this, result then result. So it will be like result.data. That's it. So there is no confusion now. Okay, now Let me comment this. Now let's go here, and yes, we were writing the code for ng4. So is there latest student of students? Then here we will write student dot first name. Okay, so you can see it's coming here, Rajesh and Umar. So similarly, we will call other names also, other fields. Last name, email, password we will not require, right? Yes. So let's remove from here because we don't want to show password to the users. So first name, last name, email, gender, hobbies, countries, and then so first name, last name, email, last name, email, password, then gender, then hobbies, then one more field is country, and then edit and delete. Two buttons for editing and deleting. Now refresh, and you can see our data is coming here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like first name, last name, email, gender, hobbies, countries, and then edit and delete. So while 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's missing here? First name, last name, email. Okay, password. I added one more field, so it needs to be removed here. Okay, so now it's perfect. So guys, you can see, let me explain you once again so that there is no confusion at all. Okay, how it is working. This is our REST API P file. Let me show you directly opening this. Okay, localhost, then PHP REST API, and then view. If I open this API directly, then you can see it is returning here success and data, and inside data ID and other fields. Okay, it's returning result sheet, same result sheet. This one we are showing here in Angular in design format. This is returning, but it is raw format, but user won't be able to understand this, right? So we are showing this on in formatted way using Angular. So how it's possible, how this data is fetching? First connection is of this one to service file. Okay, here we are fetching the data from this file. Got it? Then this is returning, that means it is reserving, storing here. Okay, so this is always the service file is like storage room. So fetching the data, it has stored here. Okay, after storing, we are from this storeroom, we are subscribing, that means getting the data in this file. Okay, list file, and then ultimately we are preparing here and displaying into through ng4 in this one. That's it. And if you want to show serial number also, then here th, so serial number. So and here just write let I index. Okay, so one more field will be here, td, and then td, and just write here this. And now let's see. So it's showing 0 and 1, but we would like to show here 1 2. Okay, so for that let's write here /1. Okay, then it's not showing here, so we write it before here /1, then index. Now it's still showing. Oh, so why should we worry about that? Why not we simply just write from here +1. Okay, so it will start from 1. Simple. Okay guys, so in this video you have learned. Okay, let me explain once again this one, how it's working. Okay, what is happening here, we have written here get method. Okay, and then it must be get method only, then it will work. And then here if we will pass id, let me show you here in API. If we pass here equals to id 2 or 18, its id is 18, okay, or 19. So if I pass here id 19, in that case it will show this one. If I pass here 18, then it will show the first record. So the code is written for that. So here is ternary operator. If id is passed, then it will say select a star from students where id equal to this, or else select a star from our students. So in this case we are not passing anything, so it's selecting all the students record. Okay, from here, that's it. And this is video code data set written here. So it's very simple. Okay guys, so in this video that's it, how to display the data. In the next video I will show you the delete and edit as well. So stay connected. Still you have not subscribed my channel, then please subscribe, and also write your comment in my comment box so that I will try to answer you. Thanks for watching.